In 1976, a man in India started selling calculators with a few $1,000s. By 2020, his company was worth $10 billion. His name is Shiv Nadar. And he's just one of dozens of Indian tech founders who turned nothing into empires. But here's the thing. While India now has $1 trillion in billionaire wealth, only 57% of them are self-made. Compare that to 73% globally. Something doesn't add up. So how did a country with massive inequality produce some of the world's most successful tech entrepreneurs? And why are younger Indian founders now dominating electric vehicles and advanced technology sectors? This is the story nobody's telling you. The real story of how India's tech titans went from zero to billionaire. And trust me, what really happened will shock you. This is Billion Dollar Stories. Let's dive in. It starts in 1976. India is poor. Technology barely exists outside of government labs. And Shiv Nadar has a crazy idea. He wants to build computers. Not import them. Build them. In India. Everyone thought he was insane. But Nadar didn't care. He founded HCL Infosystems with just a few $1,000s. At first, he wasn't even making computers. He was selling calculators. Simple stuff. Microcomputers. Things people could actually afford. But here's where it gets interesting. While everyone else was trying to copy the West, Nadar was studying the market. He saw something nobody else did. India didn't need fancy technology. India needed practical solutions. Technology that solved real problems for real businesses. So he pivoted. HCL started focusing on IT services, software development, business solutions. And it worked. By the 1990s, HCL was growing faster than anyone predicted. By 2020, the company hit $10 billion in annual revenue. 10 billion. From a guy who started selling calculators. Shiv Nadar became one of India's first tech billionaires. But he wasn't alone. Nobody saw what happened next. While Nadar was building HCL, another revolution was brewing. This one was quieter, less flashy, but just as powerful. His name was Sridhar Vembu. And his sister Radha Vembu was about to change everything. In 1996, Sridhar founded a company called AdventNet. Later, it became Zoho Corporation. And here's the crazy part. While Microsoft and Google were dominating business software, Zoho decided to compete head-on. No venture capital. No Silicon Valley hype. Just bootstrapped growth and relentless focus on customers. Radha Vembu positioned Zoho's online office suite as a real alternative to Microsoft Office and Google Workspace. And it worked. Today, Zoho is among the world's top 5 business email providers. They are competing with tech giants. And winning. Without taking a single dollar of outside investment. Can you believe that? But this is the part that changes everything. These success stories, they're the exception, not the rule. Remember that statistic from the beginning? Only 57% of Indian billionaires are self-made. That's way below the global average of 73%. Why? Because for decades, India had massive inequality in opportunity distribution. If you weren't born into the right family, the right caste, the right network, your chances of building wealth were basically zero. The system was rigged. And it still shows in the numbers today. Most of India's wealthiest people inherited their fortune or built it through industries controlled by a few families. Real estate, manufacturing, energy. These weren't exactly open playing fields. But technology changed the game. Here's what nobody tells you about the Indian tech boom. It wasn't just about smart people or hard work. It was about timing. In the 1990s, the internet arrived. And suddenly, you didn't need family connections to build a business. You needed skills, code, ideas, execution. The barriers to entry dropped dramatically. And a new generation of entrepreneurs saw their chance. Fast forward to 2026. India's billionaire landscape looks completely different. Mukesh Ambani leads the pack with nearly $100 billion in net worth. 100 billion. That's more than the GDP of most countries. But here's where it gets really interesting. The wealth isn't just concentrated in old industries anymore. India's startup boom has created a whole new class of billionaires. Younger founders, frontier technologies, electric vehicles, advanced AI, fintech. These aren't your grandfather's businesses. Take Jayashree Ullal for example. She's an Indian-origin billionaire who ranks ahead of household names like Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella on the Hurun Rich list. How? She became CEO of Arista Networks, a cloud networking company, and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Her net worth? Over $1 billion. From pure technology execution. And then there's the new wave. Young Indian founders building electric vehicle companies. Advanced technology startups. These entrepreneurs are in their 30s and 40s. And they are already approaching billionaire status. What they discovered next shocked the entire industry. The combined net worth of India's wealthiest individuals hit $1 trillion in 2026. That's up from $941 billion in 2025. That's a $69 billion increase. In 1 year. 1 year. The wealth creation is accelerating. Not slowing down. But here's the thing. This isn't just an India story. It's a global story. Indian entrepreneurs aren't just building companies in India anymore. They are building them everywhere. Silicon Valley, London, Singapore. Indian immigrants are now the largest group of founders behind America's billion-dollar startups. Think about that. The largest group. Not just successful. Dominant. Sundar Pichai runs Google. Satya Nadella runs Microsoft. Arvind Krishna runs IBM. Shantanu Narayan runs Adobe. These aren't middle managers. These are the CEOs of the most powerful technology companies on earth. So how did they do it? How did a country that struggled with poverty and inequality produce so many tech titans? The answer is complex. Part of it is education. India's elite engineering schools, the IITs, produce world-class talent. Part of it is hunger. When you grow up with limited resources, you develop a different kind of drive. A different kind of resilience. Part of it is culture. Indian families invest everything in their children's education. Everything. And part of it is timing. India's tech boom coincided with globalization. The internet. The rise of Silicon Valley. Indian entrepreneurs were in the right place at the right time with the right skills. But there's one more factor nobody talks about. Frugality. Indian entrepreneurs learned to build more with less. Zoho bootstrapped to billions without venture capital. Indian startups consistently operate with lower burn rates than their Western competitors. They are capital efficient. And in the long run, that's a massive advantage. Nobody saw this coming. 30 years ago, if you said India would produce $1 trillion in billionaire wealth, people would have laughed. If you said Indian CEOs would run America's biggest tech companies, they'd call you crazy. But it happened. And it's still happening. The next generation of Indian tech titans is already emerging. Founders building in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, biotechnology, space technology. The sectors are changing. But the pattern is the same. Start with nothing. Build with intelligence. Scale with discipline. Become unstoppable. This is the part that changes everything. India's tech story isn't over. It's just beginning. As more barriers fall, as more opportunities open up, as more capital flows into Indian startups, the next wave will be even bigger. Even more transformational. We are watching the early stages of a multi-generational wealth transfer. From old industries to new technologies. From inherited wealth to self-made fortunes. From closed systems to open competition. And the entrepreneurs leading this transformation? They started with nothing. A few $1,000s. An idea. And an unshakable belief that they could compete with anyone, anywhere. That's the real story of how India's tech titans went from zero to billionaire. Not luck. Not connections. Strategy. Execution. And relentless focus on solving real problems for real customers. If you want to know how Indian founders are now dominating Silicon Valley and building America's next unicorns, watch our next video. And subscribe so you never miss a $1 billion story. Because the companies being built right now, they are going to change everything. Again,